Mike with Mike's Bags. Today I'm reviewing the Vapor R by Ultra Cornhole. And this is a bag that I didn't know anything about. I'd never seen them. I'd never thrown them until I ordered this set here. I got quite a few of you guys asking, requesting me to review this. That's why I got these bags in. I didn't know a lot about them. When I got them, it's a confusing bag, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just, it's typically when I review a bag, I like to find out what's the best situations to use that bag. When would I want to pull that bag out? When would I throw that bag? And with these, I struggled to figure that out. It took me I've been throwing these a ton for the last couple of weeks. I've really been trying to figure this bag out. Let's go ahead and jump in. I'll break this bag down. I'll tell you what I know about it, and I'll tell you the areas where I get a little confused or where I'm not sure about in the bag. We'll start with the slow side material, and this is one of those areas that I don't know a lot about this material. I've never seen it anywhere else. It's a confusing material in the sense that I'm going to call it a hybrid, but I am not 100% positive it's a hybrid material. It has a lot of characteristics of a polyester, and it has some characteristics of a polypropylene material, which is why I'm calling it a hybrid. Polypropylene is what is the material that carpet is made of. The true carpet bags out there, that material is a polypropylene. And then the faster material, like the fast side of this, most of your fast side materials is a polyester material. I think it tends to have more polyester in it than polypropylene because it plays more like a polyester, feels more like a polyester. There's just certain times where I was like, that's plays more like a carpet than it does a non-carpet material. But anyway, I'm gonna call it a hybrid. Speed-wise, this is an area, again, where I was a little confused because brand new, it plays fast, almost like a 7-speed brand new. But once you throw it, you break it in, it does start to slow down. I think in normal conditions, like a 4.5 speed, maybe 5. But what I found is as boards get faster, it speeds up. And as boards get slower, it slows down, which is typically what you get with the polyester material. I've had this play anywhere from a 4 to like a 7 speed, depending on board conditions. Just a touch slower than that Viper R slow side. It's a touch faster than that Freak slow side, if you're familiar with that Freak or that Viking style carpet. It's a touch faster than that, but it's slower than that Viper R. So it kind of falls in between those two bags there. Fast side, this is that Surefire Game Changer fast side. Same fast side Ultra uses on the Viper B. 8.5 speed. It's fast. It's great for pushing up and collecting bags, blowing up piles, cleaning up messes. It's great fast side material, and it slides up the board in pretty much any conditions as well. So we're looking at about a 4.5, 5 on the slow, 8.5 on the fast side. Template wise, Ultra tends to run larger template bags. This is probably not quite as large as I'm used to with Ultra. And I think it's because this slow side material doesn't have the stretch that you get in like that Viper R or some of those other bags that Ultra makes. It just doesn't have that stretch. I'm going to call it a medium, but it is a large medium bag. It is just slightly smaller than what I'm used to from Ultra. And I don't know if they've changed the template size for these 2025 bags or not. In fact, I have some Viper. These are actually 25. Yeah, these are 2025 stamped Viper R's here. And if I compare the two, I don't know if I can show you this real well on camera. We'll see here. So if I line this side up right here, and then you look, you can almost see this Viper R is just a hair bit wider than this Vapor R is. This is what I'm used to Ultra's template being, kind of that large template bag. These are just a hair bit small. It's still bigger than most of your medium bags out there, but it's not quite as big as what I'm used to from Ultra. And again, I'm kind of putting on the fact that I don't think the slow side stretches like it typically tends to hold its shape pretty well. It's got a medium amount of fill in here. You have some flop. It is not overly floppy. For those of you who typically don't like floppy bags, you'll probably like this. It has more of a, I'm not going to call it a full feeling because it's on that medium to large template. The fill, it gives it more of a normal fill. Not quite full, but again, not that floppy. But you get a nice hand feel. I grab it. I get complete control. I don't have any movement or looseness like I get with a floppy bag. I really like the bag, the way the bag feels. It feels great in the hand. The fill in here is, I think it's a standard Ultra fill. Mostly flat. It's mostly flat disc in here with an occasional, it feels like a little bit, maybe a thicker flat. I know Ultra tends to use some of those filler beads in here to give some fullness to their bags, but those don't really affect playability in my opinion. So I'm gonna call it, it's a mostly flat, if not 100% flat fill in these Vapor R's, which gives the bag a ton of forgiveness to it. You know, flat fill is if you don't throw a flat bag, you typically want a bag that's flat fill, because flat fill takes away a lot of the bounce, a lot of the movement when the bag lands, which means it doesn't have as much kick. And this bag doesn't have a ton of kick to it. It's got some. Again, if you throw a really steep angle on your bag, tilting your bag, you're going to get some kick to it. But you don't, again, and I mentioned this in time to time in reviews, if you take all the kick out of the bag, you take the cutability out of the bag, you take the shot shaping out. And I don't think you want to take that out of a bag like this. These bags are also ACL stamps. With ACL vents, you can throw these Vapor R's. Let's jump in and talk about playability here. And playability was kind of all over the place, and I don't mean that to be negative, but I felt like When boards were faster, the bag played fast. So if I had faster condition on the boards, this bag you could run the hole in it, no problem whatsoever. As boards started to slow down, maybe even stick up, I could play a dirty style game. But so you got the ability to play both depending on the board conditions. Typically for me though, when boards slow down, I want a bag that plays faster. When boards play faster, I want a bag that plays slower. Where this matched the board conditions. However, the way this bag performed the best was in the slower conditions. I really, really liked this bag playing a dirty style game. I love the control. When boards got slow, the control I have with this bag, then I was able to also really get some good aggressive cuts with this bag. Rolls and flops are definitely an option in this bag. I mean, even sometimes you can see when I was throwing here, I kind of made sure I had a little bit stickier, a little bit slower board conditions when I was out there throwing. A little bit of humidity in the air, which caused the boards to stick up a little bit. And you can see these bags almost wanting to kind of pop up. And I don't throw a roll bag. I don't throw flops, but the bag almost kind of walked up the board more than slid. So you definitely have those shot shaping capabilities, the cuts, rolls, and flops on those stickier conditions. As boards got faster, I could still throw a cut shot with it, but it was more a subtle cut. It wasn't those harsh, aggressive cuts. It was more like if you've thrown, if you can roll a Viper R, you can roll and cut a Viper R, you can do that, this bag in any conditions, but it was much easier in those stickier board conditions. Blockers, this bag makes a great blocker. It's big enough, you throw it up there, it takes up a ton of real estate. On those slower conditions, I had the ability to throw a blocker wherever I wanted to. Collectability, because it's not super floppy, you're just clipping a corner. It doesn't accordion up, and you can ride this bag up pretty well. Both materials, I mean, the fast side's definitely hole friendly. The slow side was pretty hole friendly for the control that I got with it. In the stickier conditions, I would have sometimes the bag would hang on the hole a little bit, but even when it hung, it wasn't hard to collect. I didn't have to go crazy aggressive after it. Just another bag coming in would typically clip it and pull it back in. So as long as it wasn't my last bag, I was able to bring it in. If I did have a bag hanging across the hole, because of the shot shape that I had with it, I could throw a cut, kind of come across, clip it, and bring it back in. I didn't have to get super aggressive going after too much. Around the hole, it actually played better than you would get with a traditional carpet style bag would play. And that's where I think this bag would shine. That's why I liked it better than the stickier conditions, because I could play it like a carpet bag, but I got a little bit more hole friendliness on it, a little easier to put in the hole. I didn't have a lot of bag kind of bunching, clogging like you get sometimes with traditional carpet bags. And you still had the forgiveness. With a traditional carpet material, you tend to get those harsh, aggressive kicks if you're not flat. And as I mentioned, this bag doesn't have that harsh, aggressive kick to it. So more forgiving than a traditional carpet bag, more hole friendly than a traditional carpet bag. Maybe not quite as forgiving as hole friendly as that Viper R. So again, it falls in between those traditional carpet bags and that Viper R, somewhere in that speed range when that playability for normal to slower board conditions. So that's what you're looking for. Take a look at the Vapor R. Again, I didn't dislike this bag. I just think faster boards, there are other bags that I would rather throw over this. But those normal to slow board conditions, if I went to a blind draw and you pulled these out as my partner and you wanted to throw them, I'm not going to fight you with it. I would have no problem throwing it. I could play my game. I could have success with this. So all in all, it's a good bag. It really is. And I think in the right situations, it can be a great bag. You just have to make sure you match the bag up to those situations. Let's jump into availability on these. Ultra has a website. It's ultracornhole.com. As always, I'll put a link down in the description for you guys. The bags are normally $125. It's $11.50 shipping. I wouldn't really recommend these bags at that $125 price point, the shipping. That's really on the higher price point. I'm not sure it's a great value at that. However, Ultra's been running these bags on sale, and I think all their bags are running on sale for $95 for quite a while now. $95, the $11.50 shipping, it's like $106.50 shipped to you. At that price point, it's a mid-price point to the upper end of my mid-price point range, but it's a better value. If you've thrown these Vapor Rs, I'd love to hear your thoughts on these. Again, if you agree with me or disagree with me, I don't care. I'd love to hear both sides of that. So drop a comment down below. Let me know your experiences with these Vapor Rs, where you like to use them, what conditions you prefer them in, how you like to play them. I always love hearing you guys' feedback, but especially a bag like this, which can be a little confusing. I really want to hear your opinions on this. As always, I thank you so much for your support, and I thank you for watching.